So basically, today is really chilly outside here in Serbia. We're at about, 15 degrees, I think. Definitely chilly. What's the weather like where you're at? I'd like to know. What's the weather like in Hong Kong? Speaking of which, what do you guys think of the old Hong Kong background today? Pretty nifty, as they said back in the 50s. It looks like this is the 1950s. Okay, it looks like possibly we might have had a recording error at the beginning. So let me introduce myself one more time. My name is Brandon Lobshire, and I'll be your host for the 7th edition of Englishing with Jings, where today's subject will be parents and grandparents. Just in case that first little segment wasn't recording, we'll be talking about our grandparents, our parents, who was most influential in our lives, any stories about while you were growing up, who raised you, who was your favorite, maybe some stories that your grandparents used to tell you when you were a child. Were you one of those children that you had very busy parents and they took you to your grandmother and grandfather's house? Quite often. I have cousins like this. I grew up in a huge family with my grandparents, and there's, I think, 49 grandchildren, guys. Crazy, I know. And a lot of those grandchildren would come over to my grandparents' house and they would watch them. So I know about huge families. I don't think this is actually very common in Asia. 9 children. I was number 10 in my family. Whenever I tell my students from Asia about this situation, their eyes are like, oh my God, that's how it was. Nothing but fun all the time. We'll go into my story a little bit. Why not? I'm still waiting for some panelists. So essentially, there was never a boring, dull moment in my family. We were usually outside because I'm a little bit older. We didn't have technology when I was growing up. We went outside to play all different sorts of athletics: American football, baseball, basketball, golf. We even had a little miniature golf course in our backyard. Interesting, right? If you didn't hear the first segment, I was 4 years old when my grandparents took me into their home. And it was really, really great. Okay, now I have uncles who are, let's see here. The oldest one is 19 years older than me. The youngest one is 8 years older than me. So a wide range of ages. I was the youngest. And then my grandparents had one girl at the very end. And she was born 3 years after me. So it was great. I mean, I don't know if people understand what it feels like to have that many siblings around you. And my uncles, I would call them my brother, and they would call me their brother. I lived with them my entire life. And my aunt, who's younger than me, she's my baby sister. So we would be outside playing games. We would be inside playing games, board games mostly, card games. When we were a little bit older, Nintendo came, so we liked to play video games, of course. Who didn't? I think that's everything now. And also, you know what, guys? Hey, our Zoom ID for all of you people on Instagram, if you want to come on live, is 198-135-156. I've never done that before, but this is new. We're on Instagram. Who would have thought? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The trifecta, people. We're streaming 3 different places now. And I'm waiting ever so patiently for my first panelists so we can discuss parents, the most influential people in our lives. Basically, they were the benchmark in our lives. These people were our idols, most of us. Maybe some people have some bad experiences, but I'm willing to bet the majority of people looked up to their parents as their heroes. My grandparents, definitely my heroes. I really didn't know my mother and father very well when I was young. They were young when they had me, 19 and 21, and they just couldn't handle the responsibility. Let's put it this way. I have no ill will towards them, but I look at them more like an aunt and uncle, as weird as that may sound. So, but okay. I was very fortunate to be taken in by my grandparents, and they raised me, like I said, from the time I was 14 until I was 18. And I'm ever so thankful for this. I love them with everything. Let's put it this way. They're still alive these days. Let's see, my grandmother is 83 and my grandfather is 86. It might be 84 and 87. Ugh, forgive me if you guys are watching this. But yeah, it was great. It was really great. I'm so curious to know your situations, how it was when you were growing up. What kind of activities did you do with your family, with your parents, with your grandparents? Come on the panel. Let's talk about this. This is such a great subject. It really is. Bear with me for 1 second here. Technical difficulties again. Okay, I'm back. Excuse me. Losing the voice. I'm an ESL teacher. This is what I do. I help people improve their English. So sometimes I lose my voice. It happens. Thank God for fluids. In particular, early in the morning, like here in Europe, coffee. I can't get enough. I could drink 5 cups every day. Oh, people, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Let's see some hands raised. Hey, it's actually showing my hand. Usually it disappears. Raise the hand. Hello. Oh, people. It's such a cold day outside today. It still looks sunny, but maybe 15 degrees. Maybe a high of 20, something like that. What's the weather like in Hong Kong? What's the weather like in Taiwan? What's the weather like in China, Japan, South Korea, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Brazil? Doesn't matter where you're at. Get on here. Let's practice some English. This is my specialty. As I said before, I'm an ESL teacher. I have been for about 1 year now. I have helped 760 students, over 760 students, improve their English. And for me, this is the highlight of my day. I wake up every single morning happy to go to work. I mean, don't get me wrong, I shouldn't say highlight of my day. My family's the highlight, but I actually love going to work. How many people can say that? Raise your hand if you can. This is special. Every single morning I wake up and I know that the day is going to be new, different, and interesting. And I have a lot of fun doing this. So, yeah, let's do it here too. I can help you improve your English. Give me a call. Come on the panel. Post your questions. Let's do this. This is such a special subject. I know everybody has a mom and dad. I mean, most people do, unless you were born in a laboratory. I highly doubt that. But it is possible. If that's the case, today's subject is not good for you. But I still welcome anybody. We can talk about anything. This is just the subject that we suggest. If you want to come on here and talk about the weather today where you live, what activities you're doing outside today, that's fine too. It's all free practice for English. Here's something out of the ordinary. What do you guys think of my hairstyle? I did these braids myself. Can you believe this? I am not a hairstylist, but I'm an amateur. I'm practicing. Not too bad, huh? This is a dragon Viking braid. I like it. I really do. You know, being in lockdown from the coronavirus, you find some interesting activities to fulfill your time. And I thought, how can I style my hair differently? So I went on YouTube and wrote braids for men. I don't want cornrows. I've done that before, but I don't want cornrows. Are you familiar with cornrows? That's for another subject. So I scanned and I searched, and I saw. And by the way, I have some Norwegian roots in my bloodline, so this is actually part of my heritage. Really small roots from Norway, but okay. These are Viking dragon braids. So I thought, ooh, Viking, that's me. The woman that did this in the video, goodness gracious, I think it took her like 5 minutes to do her boyfriend's hair. I did my own in the mirror in the bathroom, and it probably took me an hour, but it worked. People are seeing this and they don't believe that I did it. I think it looks better in person. I don't know, that not so great on the camera, I don't think, but it definitely looks decent. Okay, I'm never one of these people that says, look at my work, it's so great. But other people are telling me this, so I suppose it's okay. Yeah, if you want to braid your hair and you're a man, it's possible. I'm proof. Like I said, I'm definitely not a hairstylist, but I pulled it off, people. Okay, enough about my hair. Oh, we're streaming live. 3 locations today. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Wow. And check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We'll be leaving links, people, where you can sign up for classes to help improve your English through conversation. We help with pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. The three main aspects of the English language, and sentence structure. We have lots of really experienced teachers, and we do a phenomenal job of helping you improve your English, and we have fun doing it. So check out our links. Sign up today. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee it. You might get me if you want me as your teacher. I'll be happy to teach you. It's no problem. I'm okay at it. I don't know, ask my peers. I'm never going to talk about how great I am. That's not me. So, but I enjoy it. And I have a lot of students that tell me that they have a lot of fun in my class. So we can't have boring classes. I can remember as a student when I was younger, those classes that you would fall asleep right in the middle of class, that never happens in my class. No way. I keep it live and interesting and fun and funny. I've had classes where we basically just laughed for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Life is so complicated these days. We have to have fun, break the monotony, as we say. And that's what we do at Jing's Learning Center. We break the monotony, and you come out of this class with more knowledge of the English language. What can be better than that? Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so tired today, people. Long night, really long night. Very little sleep. I think it was just from all of the anxiety that I was so excited to see everybody today and talk about family, parents, grandparents. This is an amazing subject. This is something that everybody should be on here with comments and wanting to go live and just talk about how great their family is. At least I would think. What's that about? Give me 1 second here. I need to somehow position my phone so I can see Instagram here at the same time. It's really difficult. Okay, 1 second. Reading. I'm reading. Give me 1 minute. Okay, almost there. Okay, I'm back. Where's all my peeps on Instagram? Hello, Instagram. You're new to me. It's very nice to meet you. I mean, I have Instagram, but never went live on Instagram before. And by the way, people, this is really funny because I have my virtual background here on the live stream, and Instagram shows my office. Okay, pretty cool. Oh my goodness, somebody just sent me such a long message, or maybe it's because technical staff, my words are 2 centimeters, my characters each. So I have a message that's like, I don't know, 50 centimeters long. Okay. We have a comment, finally. Let's see here. Looks like Lee is saying, my great-grandfather, he was still there for me until I was 5, but my impression of him is he had a long beard, really old, really kind, and always sitting. Every time we were in the house, there were tons of people at the same time visiting him, since many people come to him for fortune telling and life advices. This is the cool stuff that I've been waiting for. Famous artists and celebrities would come to him. He was also good at Chinese medication. And he would take people's pulse diagnostically. He helped many people, and he lived until he was 94 and died in his sleep. And people are still following his advice these days. Wow. See, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. Talk about a cool grandfather. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lee. That's really cool. Wow. I'm flabbergasted after reading that one. What a cool grandfather. Lee, if you're still with me, like, was he like the wisest person that you ever knew in your life? Like, did everybody look at him like, what this man says is gold? I'm sure it sounds this way. If you're still here, Lee, I'd like to know, like, was he like, oh, like a guru? Sounds awesome, man. See, my grandfather was like the working class hero, blue collar, worked in the factory, long hours, provided for a really large family. Now, he was really good for advice when it came to, I don't know, life's instances, and he was really knowledgeable in sports. He was a baseball coach for almost 30 years. And he's still alive, by the way. I don't know why I'm talking in the past tense by saying was. But oh my God, Lee's grandfather was like like some kind of guru. He sat there and told you like your fortune, your future. This is why I love having Asian students. You don't hear this kind of stuff back in the United States. And by the way, I'm from Chicago originally, and I'm living in Serbia, in case you haven't caught the first six editions of Englishing with Jing's. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, Lee's not answering me back, but wow, amazing, completely amazing. I wish I could meet Lee. I mean, I know he's no longer with us, but I wish I could meet Lee's grandfather. I'd like to hear my fortune. Sounds great. Ooh, okay, people, we've reached the second half of the first hour of our show, which means it's time for live questions and answers, which means you come on here and I bring you in front of the entire planet and you can tell your stories. Yeah, this is your chance. This is your big opportunity to be a star. Not that our show is being watched by millions of people, but eventually, once the word gets out how great our classes are, I think more people will come here. I really do. In fact, I know that's what's going to happen. I almost want to ask Lee's grandfather if he was still around. So, what's the future for Jing's Learning Center? I have a feeling he would say it's going to be quite successful. See, my boss has this business for quite some time, and there's lots of classes for online English, but she teaches all sorts of different music. It's just basically learning services, lessons, and we've been expanding the online section for English here recently, and we have students, but we can always take more. This is for sure. What I need to do is get a couple of our students on here to talk about their experiences. So if any of our students are listening right now, send your comment or come on here and tell everybody. This is what I want to see. In fact, I'm going to start telling them this in their lessons. Maybe they're shy. I understand that too. I was shy when I was young. And we have all young learners. So awesome subject today, peeps. Parents, grandparents. Who did you look up to the most? Who did you have the most fun with? What kind of activities did you do? Maybe just on the weekends you would go see your grandparents. Maybe they would take you out to eat. Maybe that was the big thing with the grandparents. I have a lot of friends, like they would go eat on the weekends with their grandparents. Or maybe during the week after school, they would go to their grandparents' house and stay with them until their mother or father finished work. And then they would pick their children up from their grandparents' house. But God, I've heard many people back in the United States had frequent interactions with their grandparents. At least once a week, they would visit them or sometimes stay with them the entire weekend. It was always cool to stay. Me personally, I lived with my grandparents, but it was always cool, from what I understand, to stay with your grandparents all weekend because basically they would let you do whatever you wanted. They would let you eat really good food, give you lots of candy. You could watch movies. It was always an advantage to have cool grandparents. And to me, it sounded like most of them were really cool. But yeah, me personally, my grandparents raised me, so my grandparents are my parents, as I've said earlier in the show. I still call them mom and dad. They're not grandparents. They were parents. They did everything for me as a child. So bless them, bless them, bless them, bless them. And, it's not so much my responsibility from, being 6,000 miles away from my grandparents right now, but I'm just so worried about their safety in this coronavirus universe that we live in right now. as everybody knows, it's the elderly that are suffering the most. And so far, they've managed to stay away and they're doing really well. So fingers crossed, as we say back in the States, for good luck. And then it remains this way. I don't know. Why does it have to be the good people, the old people that die from this stupid virus? It's really sad. Oh, do we have another comment? Okay. Lee's back again. He's saying our grandparents in the 50s or earlier worked really hard. There are not many materials at that time. People were not rich, less entertainment, but they worked really hard without complaint. They feed their children. As you know, people in that generation, they have many kids. And the contribution was so much to the city and next generations. Of course, this completely describes my grandparents, hard workers. 10 kids, you had to work hard to support all of these children. That's a lot of responsibilities. As we say in the US, that's a lot of mouths to feed. Yeah, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how my grandparents would have the time to focus on 10 children. That's one thing that I can say. That was probably the only downside to my family. We all did not get personal attention. We did, but it was like you had to stand in line. Yeah, you can't focus on 9 children. That's impossible. But you know what? They did what they could as far as giving everybody personal attention. I mean, my goodness, my grandmother to this day, sometimes she'll call me, and this is not because of age. Sometimes she'll call me 3 or 4 names of her other sons before she gets to my name, Brandon. Yeah, she'll be like, Bruce, Dan, Dave, Brandon. It's great. She always figures it out, but and she does this to some of the grandchildren too. I have a nephew / cousin. His name's Austin, and she always calls him Brandon. I love it. I love it. Definitely a unique situation. I don't have any friends back in Chicago that come from such a big family. But I've talked to other people, some students from the Middle East and Brazil who have really big families. So, yeah, I mean, what can we do? What can we do? This is the situation that we're dealt when we're children. So we have no choice. This is just the way the world works. But I'm so happy that I actually had the chance to be born into such a large family. It was fun. Zane Bashu says hello. I'm waving to Zane. Hello, Zane. Welcome to Instagram. Happy to be on Instagram today. Really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of, okay, one thing that I can say, my grandparents, they worked hard and they were definitely nice. They did everything for us. But they also had to be disciplinarians to a certain extent. Can you imagine trying to control 10 children? One thing I can definitely say too is by the time I joined the family, the oldest 2 or 3 children were already out of the home and starting their own lives. So I didn't grow up with everybody in the home at the same time. When I was 4, they were all there, but they were preparing to move out. You know what I mean? Some of my brothers would stay at home until they were in their early 20s, and then they would leave. A couple went off to school. A couple of them actually moved out of the home and moved way far away out of the state, which is something that's rare for some of my students from different countries. Most of these children, they don't move so far away in different countries, so they can still see their parents on a daily basis or weekly basis. Okay, let's see. I have a question, and there's no name, but how many children do your grandparents have? My grandparents? 9 plus me, 10. Okay, here's something special. I didn't even know my grandparents from my father's side until recently. And they had, let's see, my father, Chuck, Jody, Nikki, and Kurt, 5 children. 5 on my father's side and 9 on my mother's side. 14 children with my mom and dad's families combined. Whew. Yeah, it's a lot of kids. Even 5 would be very difficult to handle these days. I can't even imagine in today's modern society. Wow, too much. I have 1 child with my wife, and I can't imagine having 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Oh my God. It was much easier to have a lot of children, back in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Once the 80s, 90s, 2000s came, it just became much more difficult. Everything became expensive. Unfortunately, inflation happened with currency, and the living wage wasn't really raised a whole lot. So, it was much easier to just have a really good job and support a big family back in those days. These days, I would have to have 2 or 3 jobs, I think, just to support a family that big. Looks like we have another. Hello, Jane Soon. Hello, welcome to Instagram. People leave your comments on Instagram. I'll answer them on the live stream. Or if you're brave, come to the live stream and we can talk live to the world. And just so everybody knows, our Zoom ID for today is 198-135-156. Let me write that in the comments. Bear with me. 135-156. Okay, Jane says, I think she's saying I'm in my 50s. My father has only 2 siblings. Okay, this is normal. This is completely normal. Hold on, give me 1 second, Jane. I see you. Okay, Jane. Let me answer you. But she says her mom has many because her father has multiple wives. Interesting. This is interesting. I'm interacting. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay, yeah, multiple wives. Wow. Okay. Now we're talking. Not that I would want multiple wives, but that means lots of children. Okay. So I wonder, excellent. Jane. Hi, Jane. That is so interesting. Okay. I have a lot of students from the Middle East that I speak to, and I've heard the whole multiple wives situations. And I've seen and heard about families where there's 20, 30 children in one family. Oh my God. How does a father handle that situation? There's no way you can handle that many kids. My God. Okay. Here I thought that I had the big family with 9 brothers and 1 sister, or 8 brothers and 1 sister, but my God, some of these multiple wives situations, this can be a crowd, a big crowd. That's awesome. Jane, thank you so much for dropping a comment. I appreciate that very much. Very cool. Very cool. So I mean, here's the one thing that's really impressive with my mother's family, the family that I was raised in, is, like I said, there's either 48 or 49 grandchildren. Can you imagine that? Okay, every time there's a holiday, special occasion, they all come to my grandmother's house. And the house that they live in is not the biggest. So imagine all of those people in one setting. Oh my God. Amazing. Wow. I don't know how she does it. I really don't. And she has to cook for all of these people. So just imagine, I think it's 49 grandchildren, and then she has 9 children. I'm counting myself as one of the grandchildren. I'm the oldest grandchild on that side of the family too. So that's kind of special, but 49 and 9, 58 people, plus herself, plus her husband. That's a big gathering, huge gathering. And I just got a comment on the panel, big crowd. They should have a lot of plates and cups and pots to serve those people for family. Yeah, huge family meals. Okay, basically what happens is there's 2 levels to my grandparents' home. There's the top level, and then there's the sub level, the basement. All of the grandchildren go down in the sub level, and not all, but most. And then the rest of the adults, they stay on the top level. And there's 2 huge kitchen tables for everybody to eat at. But can you imagine making a meal that large? Okay, just for example, Easter Sunday. We just had Easter Sunday a couple of weeks ago. Now, this year, she had a very small gathering, maybe 5 or 6 people, because everybody wants to be really cautious. So, my grandparents don't catch this coronavirus. But on a regular Easter Sunday, everybody comes. Yeah, 58, 60 people. She has to start preparing the meal like 2 days early just to make sure she can serve everybody. Crazy. These are the kind of stories that I'm looking for. I heard Lee talk about his or her, not sure, Lee can go either way, grandfather who was telling fortunes, even to celebrities. Awesome. And then we have Jane, who says her mom has many siblings because her father has multiple wives. That's awesome. These are so cool. I love to hear these stories from different cultures. We don't have grandparents telling fortunes in the United States, and we definitely don't have families with multiple wives. That's not part of the culture in the United States, and it's unique and it's great, actually. I love to hear these stories. Cheers to these crazy, awesome stories. Coffee. Who loves coffee? Raise your hand. Anybody? Anybody? Woo! We're streaming live, people. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let's see some more panelists. I'm curious. I want to hear your stories. We've heard a few, and they're glorious stories. I love it. I want to pile up 1,000 stories today. I really do. The more the merrier, as we would say in my family. Okay, Jane's back. My mother's oldest and youngest sibling, they have almost 30 years age difference. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. There we go. 30 years. Okay, my youngest sibling in my grandparents' family, between her age and the oldest is 24 years. It's a lot. That's amazing. Can you imagine being 30 years old and having a baby brother or sister? Or, like I just said, 24 years old. It must be odd. It must be strange. See, if we had another child right now, there would be a 6-year difference in age. That's not so much when I hear 30 years or 24 years. That's so cool. Yeah, I would be happy if I had a baby brother or sister that was that, 30 years difference. I think that's cool. Some cultures, they don't like that. They don't like that. I can say that for sure. They want to keep all of the children like 1 or 2 years apart. But if you keep having child after child after child, especially if you have multiple wives, this is going to happen. There's no stopping it. Wow. Amazing, Jane. Thank you so much. Hello, Chan, 88-172. Welcome to Instagram. This is so cool. So cool. I love to hear these stories. I'm a family man. I love my family so much. I miss them so much. Yeah, I've been living in Europe now for about 1 year, and I still keep in contact with most of my family through Skype or just through, calling them. And I miss them tremendously. I really do. But okay, I'm living my life in Europe now, and I love it. I really do. Unfortunately, we're all living in lockdown right now from this coronavirus, and we should be having a lot more fun than we are, but okay. It'll end soon, I think. I really hope, I should say. Nobody knows about this situation, so. Let's see, we have Celia. My cousin is only 8 years older than me, and we have a big gap in between in the whole lifetime. 8 years is a lot, actually. I think I mentioned earlier, my youngest uncle / brother is 8 years older than me. And I was closest to him probably in personality. And he was like my best friend. I looked up to him. I looked up to all of my uncles. I'm just going to say my brothers. I looked up to all of my brothers, but my brother Dan was special to me. He was the youngest boy, and he was only 8 years older than me. And him and my uncle Jim, who was 11 years older than me, they would play a lot of sports with me, and they taught me everything I knew when it comes to baseball, basketball, and American football. And I'm eternally grateful to them for this. We shared everything. We watched movies together. We watched sporting events. We played video games. We played board games, cards together. It was fun. I'm blessed. I had a beautiful childhood. I really did. I was fortunate. Like, I had friends that were the only child in their family. And although they were spoiled and they had lots of nice toys and money, their lives were boring because they had nobody to share it with. So I'm really happy that I had a lot of people around me, showing me, having fun with me. Let's put it like this, guys. I had 7 people teaching me life. 7 brothers and 1 grandmother and grandfather. So 9 people. I had 9 people raising me at the same time, teaching me about everything. I think I had a big advantage with this. And I think this made me much more mature than the rest of my friends. I had a lot of life experience that my friends just did not have. So I'm really grateful for this. Um, and also, like in school, guys, the teachers knew me before I even came to school. Like I would always hear like, "Oh, you're one of those Loveshire boys." Mm-hmm. Sometimes that was good. Sometimes that was bad. Depends on which brother was in that class. um, wow. Yeah. I mean, like little things that you wouldn't really think of. Um, I can still remember going into school and these teachers already had an opinion of me before they even met me because of some experience they had with one of my uncles. But luckily, my family was really good mannered. They weren't really troublemakers at all. So it seemed to me that I would always have a favorable opinion with these teachers before I even started class. So I was lucky there too. But there's a couple of instances where it wasn't an advantage to me. Maybe one of my I keep saying uncles, one of my brothers didn't get along with the teacher. This was the case. But yeah, way more advantages than disadvantages, that's for sure. Thank you very much, Celia. We appreciate your comment. People, we're almost to the break, but we're streaming live, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Trifecta, 3 sources today. This is awesome. So cool. And this is our 7th edition of Englishing with Jings. Wow. Great subject matter today. Great subject matter. One more before we hit the break. Jane says, you want to be oldest or middle or younger? Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? Okay, here's my opinion with this. Oldest has the most responsibility. Okay. Middle doesn't get paid attention to so much. And younger is spoiled and gets everything they want. So I think youngest would be the best. I mean, just from my experience, my sister who came last, she got everything she ever wanted in life. But she wasn't the most responsible. So, being oldest is also cool because I think this makes you the most responsible because you have the most responsibility. But at the same time, this can be overbearing. So I really don't know which way to go with this one, people. Young, I think definitely the best situation because you are treated like royalty. So I'm gonna say youngest. And I was close to the youngest. See, I was robbed at the last minute. When my grandparents took me, I was the youngest. And then my baby sister came and stole my thunder and really received everything that she ever wanted. So I was this close. All right, people, we have hit the break time. I'm going to take 10 minutes and I'm going to be back. And I am really looking forward to continuing this conversation. We've had a lot of feedback today and it's been really fun. So give me 10 minutes. Hold on to your thoughts. If I'm not around, leave your comments and I'll get back to you. We'll be right back.
Searching for music for your next video?
Looking for the best music for your videos? Then you should check out. looking for the best music for your videos? Then you should check out Artlist. Freedom!
So fresh, so
I challenge you to find
It's Chocolicious 全新子母朱古力牛奶飲品，更濃朱古力味，迎住新包裝、新配方，俾你濃濃滿足飲。It's Chocolicious 全新子母朱古力牛奶飲品。
日本樂敦 CC 美白淡斑維 C 精華，擊退痘印，改善暗啞，淡化色斑。
We're back. We are live streaming. And 1, 2, 3, we're on Instagram too. Woohoo! Okay. We're live streaming, people, for the second half of Englishing with Jing's, our 7th edition. Subject matter, parents and grandparents and siblings. Why not? Basically, any family situations that you would like to share during our quest to improve everybody's English, because that's our main objective at Jing's Learning Center. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Lobshire, and we're still here for another 40 minutes or so. It was an extended break. I needed it, people. I'm really tired today, but okay, I'm happy to be here. So let's see here. Okay, everything's up and running. Okay, we have some questions for the audience. We're taking all different comments. We'll answer your chat questions, so feel free to comment your questions either here on the panel or on Instagram, and we'll be happy to answer your questions promptly. King Chung Sek has joined. Hello, King Chung Sek, or King Chung Sek, tongue-tied. It's a pleasure to have you on. Questions for the audience. First question: how did your mother and father meet? Second question: were your parents strict? Were they disciplinarians? Were they easy? I had disciplinarians as parents, but they were fun too. And who was the strictest? Who was the most strict? I have to use proper English. Strictest, not a word. Who was the most strict? Mother or father? I'm interested. Let me know. Let's talk. Wow, it's so cool to be on Instagram today. I salute Instagram. I'm gonna cheers to Instagram. As we say in Serbia, živeli. Okay, King Chung Sek says, will you eat dinner with your brother and sister? All the time. All the time. We like to meet up. Now that we're all older and we don't get so much time with each other, yes. Unfortunately, I'm 6,000 miles away from my family now. I'm living in Europe, in Serbia, but I'm from Chicago. And when I'm there, oh yeah. See, here's the really cool thing. What happens in my family is every Sunday, all of my brothers and sisters that still live close, they all meet at my grandmother's house, and we have a huge lunch together. I would say at least 25, 30 people show up there every Sunday, because if you heard the first segment of today's show, I come from a really big family. 9 children. I was 10, or the 10th child in the family, so 10 children and 49 grandchildren. And there's actually, I think, 15 or so, maybe more than that now, great grandchildren on that side of my family. So yes, we love to share time together. You know, if you have a situation where you don't see your family very often, and when you do see them, you don't meet, this is so sad. We only have one family, and I would really hope that everybody gets along well. My family's everything to me, so yes, we definitely like to meet up. Thank you so much for the comment, King Chung Sek. That's great. Well, let me ask you, while you're still here, do you meet up with your brother or sister and have lunch? Let's see here. He has one more question. How far do you live with your brothers and sisters? Where do they live? Okay, great question. If you probably heard, I'm 6,000 miles away on a different continent right now. But okay, most of my brothers and sisters live around the Chicago area, so we're able to see each other. But I also have, let's see, I have a brother living in Tennessee. I have a brother living in New York, and they don't get to see us very often, but they still come for special holidays, Easter, Christmas, New Year's, these sort of holidays. So Oh, that's sad, King Chung Sek. I wish that you would have the opportunity to meet with them more often. He's saying over a month. Okay, well, this will make you feel better maybe. I've been in a new country now for around a year, so I haven't seen or met my family in around 1 year now. So I feel the pain, man. I feel it. But we do keep in touch. We do communicate through video chat and through phone calls. So thank God for modern technology, right? Okay, do you have a brother or sister that looks like me? I think we all share some similarities. I think we all have, something that looks similar, like our eyes or nose. I have the family nose. Big old schnoz, you can see. Some of us have bigger noses in the family, but I think they're still cute though. What do you think? It's not ugly. You know what? I can't really say that I have an uncle or a brother or sister that looks exactly like me, but close. One thing that I think is really unique in my family is I think we're all good mixtures. I think we look like our mothers and fathers mixed together. It's strange because some people see me and they say, you look just like your father, Brandon. And other people tell me that I look just like my mom. So it kind of goes both ways. What about you? Do you look more like do you have a sibling you look similar to? And that's another question for everybody. Do you look more like your mother or more like your father? This is interesting. Now we're talking about genetics. This might be a whole different subject, one of these next shows that we have. Okay, King Chung Sek has one little brother. Okay, do you look like your little brother? Nothing? I think it's good that everybody in the family looks unique though, I have friends who have brothers and sisters and they look almost the same. I wouldn't like that, to be honest. I'm glad that we all look a little bit different. It's better to be individual these days, I think, right? Here's another one. Do you have a twin brother or sister? Anybody out there? This is something special. I do know some twins. When I was growing up at our school, because I lived in the Chicago area, we have a lot of students within the same schools. And there was a few different sets of twins. Sometimes identical, sometimes, a boy and a girl. Sometimes they didn't look anything like each other. So let me think, when I was 18, we had 3 sets of twins at our school, 2 sets identical. They looked exactly the same. And the other one was a boy and a girl, and they looked completely different. So in my family, my Uncle Dan has twins. They're twin boys. And when they were young, they looked identical, but now they look different. Yeah. So yeah, I can speak from experience. There are twins on my mother's side. My brother Dan has a set of twins. And actually, now that I think about it, my father, my real father, his brother has a set of twins, boys, and they are identical. I can tell them apart because I just met them recently, 4 or 5 years ago. But after seeing them frequently, I can tell the difference. But oh my God, if they're on the street, nobody can tell. They look really close. So now as far as remembering their names, I have trouble with they are identical. I can tell them apart because I just met them recently, 4 or 5 years ago. But after seeing them, I'm hearing myself now. I can tell the difference. But oh my God, if they're on the street, what's going on, Zoom? Hell, they look really close. I'm hearing what I said 2 minutes ago. That's kind of strange. Okay, anyway, I can deal with the feedback. We're streaming live. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. How many people are out there? I'm looking for everybody. I'm seeing a few. Today's story is special. We're talking about parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters. This is amazing to me. If you've been here for the first hour or so, I've been telling my personal story as far as how many siblings I have and the situation I had growing up. And it was truly unique and amazing. So let's hear your story. King Chung Sek, one more. How many hours do you need to fly to the US? From where I'm at, okay, it took around 10 hours to get here. And I think it's 12 hours on the way back. Yeah, not fun. Not fun at all, man. Okay, I've flown domestically in the United States a few times, to Las Vegas, to California, never any more than 4 hours on the plane. These 10, 12-hour flights are definitely draining. Thank God for movies and entertainment. My last flight, when I moved here to Serbia, the seats were really small, and I had a really big guy sitting next to me. So I was like this for 10 hours. Oh my God. Crazy. At one point, this big gentleman, and he was nice, this big gentleman fell asleep and his head went on my shoulder. I did one of these. Hey, man, that's a little personal, don't you think? He understood. Oh, sorry about that. And there was a language barrier. He was from the Ukraine, and his English was very little, so it was tough to communicate. But I think he understood that I wasn't comfortable with his head on my shoulder. Whew, that was tough. That was tough. I'm lucky though, because as you know, as most people know, on these international flights, you have a monitor in front of you so you can watch movies. So thank God for that. I think I watched 3 movies on the way to Serbia. That was a lifesaver. I personally cannot sleep on flights. It's impossible. For one, I'm a little bit scared of heights. I'm okay on the plane, but I'm still, when I look out that window and see how high we are, it's a little bit scary. So it's tough for me to fall asleep. I have my adrenaline flowing during these airplane flights. But okay, I made it, no problem. I planned on returning home for a small vacation this coming summer, but I don't think that's going to happen because of the COVID-19 coronavirus. And I'm totally fine with flying 12 more hours back home. I mean, why not? Family is everything, and I really would love to see my family. But okay, right now we have a situation where it's pretty difficult to travel, and I understand. I mean, my family had a summer holiday planned, and that doesn't look so promising now either. So, King Chung Sek, do you know how to cook? Yes, I can cook. Awesome. But I'm lucky though, because my wife is a fabulous cook. Gourmet, let's put it that way. The meals that she prepares for us, 5-star, like the same meals that you would have in the restaurant. I like to think of myself as an amateur cook. I think I'm okay. I've had good reviews when I cook from my family. This goes back to the subject. My grandmother, who prepared these huge meals for all of these kids and grandkids that she has, I learned how to cook from her. She actually makes homemade candy, all kinds of different chocolates, and she's been doing this since she was a child. Her mother was a very good French pastry and French chocolate cook. So she passed on all of her recipes to my grandmother. And then she didn't pass her recipes on, but we watched her, and she taught us how to cook when we were young. Actually, we would watch. This helped me later in life. Just in case I never found that special girl, I could cook for myself if I had to. So once again, there we go. Family. If I didn't have this huge family, I probably wouldn't know how to cook, but I do. Yeah, it's sad because I hear a lot of different stories about people that are married and their wives can't even cook. You have to cook these days. Men, women, doesn't matter. We really should all know how to cook. I mean, look at the situation that we have right now, King Chung Sek. I mean, if we didn't know how to cook during this coronavirus, we would be ordering takeout food all the time and we would all be really fat. So thank God for cooking skills. Can you cook? I'm waiting for your reply. I'm curious. I mean, you name it, I can cook it. I've made homemade pizza. Obviously, pasta's easy. All different kinds of meats I can prepare. I like to grill food on the barbecue. Oh my God. Back in the United States, my wife and I, we had 2 grills outside and we would use them quite frequently. We like to marinate different meats and then grill them. We like to make kebabs, grilled vegetables, you name it. What dishes does your wife cook at home? For everything, man. Everything. Okay, one thing that I'm very fortunate for is she cooks all of these domestic meals from Serbia here. God, I mean, where do I begin? I mean, everything that I just said that I prepare, she also prepares. Let's see. Okay, I'll just give an example. Yesterday, she prepared a meal that's called moussaka. This is a Serbian meal. It's all different vegetables and potatoes mixed together in a giant casserole. And oh my God, it's amazing. And she made homemade, well, not homemade, but she prepared sausages too. So good. So good. You know what, here, I can probably show you guys a picture. Let me do a screen share real fast. Hold on, let's see what we can do for you. I want to show what moussaka looks like for all you people from Asia. I think this will be a new experience for you. If my computer will let me. Here we go. If they have a good picture of moussaka. I mean, my wife has a special moussaka that she makes, and the recipe is in her head. She doesn't have anything wrote on the paper. Okay, let's see. Well, let's see what we can find for you guys. And by the way, there's usually egg on top too. Okay, this is what it looks like from the top. I'm going to share 2 pictures, what the actual pan looks like. Okay, let's do a screen share. One second. It's not letting me do it for some reason. I don't know why. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. Okay, this is actually Serbian moussaka, the picture that I have too. So this is perfect. Starting screen share will stop other participants' computer sound share. Do you want? I'm gonna do it. Okay, here's what it looks like, guys, if you can see this. Okay, that's basically what the pan, what it looks like from the top view, okay? And now this is what it looks like when it's on the plate. It's truly amazing, guys. And you know, these are just, I don't know, these are different pictures from other people's versions. My wife's version looks different than this. It's close, I guess. But hold on, let's see. Let's see if I can find a better one. There's so many, as you can see, there's so many different versions here, but Here, this is a good one. It looks close to this. But if you can see my arrow, there's lots of vegetables mixed in there too. It's amazing, guys. It really is amazing. So yeah, hopefully you guys caught that. I hope that worked. It's really, truly something special. What is your favorite food your wife cooks? Says King Chung Sek. Oh my God, I don't know. I like everything. Moussaka is definitely up in the top 5, I would say. What's the best that she made? I can't say anything's the best because I love it all. I've never, ever, ever had a meal that she made that I didn't like. Celia says stuffed eggplant. Okay, that's good. My wife makes stuffed peppers and she makes stuffed eggplant, and they're amazing with different rice and vegetables and meat, usually beef mixed in the middle. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, this is to you, King Chunk Sek. I know what my favorite dish is that my wife makes. Definitely lasagna. That's an Italian dish. But oh my God, her lasagna is to die for, man. It is amazing. And you know, we make a lot of different foods together as well. We like to make homemade pizza together. That's fun. I remember one night, I think we made like 5 pizzas just for my wife, my daughter, and myself. We had pizza for like 4 days, but that's okay. It was amazing. Yeah, I'm going to say lasagna number 1. And she knows that. I ask for that. Okay, when it comes to like my birthday, she'll say, what do you want for your birthday? And I say lasagna almost every time. So here in Serbia, though, they have a lot of specialty meat products. I don't know how everybody feels about eating meat. I know a lot of vegetarians who won't touch it. And vegans, especially back in the US, it seems like everybody's a vegetarian or a vegan these days. But me personally, I'm a meatitarian. I love meat. I can't help it. They have a special barbecue they make here. It's called cevapcici, and it is amazing. Okay, I have to show you what this looks like too. My wife makes the cevapcici, King Chung Sek, and it makes my mouth water, just like yours did when you saw the moussaka picture. Okay, hold on. Let me share what these cevaps look like. Okay, let's see. I don't know if the pictures will look as good as they really are, but oh my God. Let's see. Okay, here's a classic cevap. Okay, I have to share this one. Ooh, yeah. This makes me hungry right now. Okay, here is cevapcici. Ooh, that meat right there is usually 3 different meats. We have pork, beef, and lamb, all mixed together, marinated with spices and cooked on an open flame on the fire, usually wood. Oh, you see how those are big. Those are so big, okay? They look small in this picture, but they're big, fat, plump kebabs or finger sausages, whatever you want to call them. And they are the tastiest meat that I've ever had in my life. I come from the United States, and we love to barbecue, all different. But that's the thing that I've learned. Barbecues from around the world are completely different and unique and tasty. This particular barbecue, the way they prepare it, odlično, as we say here in Serbia, perfect, great. In the United States, completely different barbecue. We like to do slow cook barbecue, smoke. We smoke the meat. This means a really low temperature for a long time. So for example, 200 degrees for 12, 14 hours. And what we do is we like to marinate this meat and usually put a dry rub of seasonings on the meat before we put it on the grill. And it comes out amazing. I'll show you what the American barbecue looks like if you guys aren't familiar. Hang on one second. Let's see. Here we are talking about food. You guys are killing me. I haven't eaten yet today. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna show you the slow cooked brisket from the United States. It's something truly amazingly special. Oh my God, these pictures are making me so hungry. I don't. Okay, here's a perfect example with the dry rub seasonings. Oh, give me some resolution. Okay, here we go. This is what the slow cooked barbecue looks like in the US. I hope this is working. If you guys can comment for me, just to let me know this is working. I want to make sure you guys see this because it is so good. Here's the slow cooked brisket. Oh, I want some right now. I won't find this in Serbia. They don't prepare meats like this. It's, as I said, every single barbecue around the world's unique. In this one, has a smoky taste, spicy crust, and it's so tender and juicy in the middle. Oh my God. Ridiculous how good this tastes. If you can see the brisket, please tell me on Instagram. I want to know if you can see this. Okay. I think next week's show has to be food. Here we are. We're supposed to be talking about mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, and we're talking about brisket. Oh. Okay. 3 more seconds on the brisket. Okay. No more brisket. I'm too hungry for this stuff, guys. Okay, King Chung Sek. When you went to the United States, what activities did you do besides cooking? Okay, I'm from the US. Maybe I didn't mention this. I'm a sportsman myself. I played baseball for a long time, 13, 14 years. I like to play basketball, baseball, American football. I like to go to music concerts. This is great. My wife and I, just us two together, I think we've been to at least 7 or 8 different music concerts back in the United States, different festivals where they have music and foods. Chicago always has something to do. So lots of free activities outdoors, especially in the spring, summer, and fall. Now, in the wintertime in Chicago, everything's indoors because it is freezing cold. We're known to have winters where it reaches minus 30 degrees sometimes, guys. So not so much outdoors, but yeah, I'm an outdoors guy. I mean, I even like to go fishing, hiking, anything outside. One thing that I want to do soon with my daughter is go fly a kite. I love flying kites, man. We'll get that bad boy, 600 meters up into the sky, maybe more. And by the way, I'm still learning the metric system. Maybe 600 meters is too much or not enough. I use the American standard system, so metric is still so confusing to me. But okay, anything outdoors, King Chung Sek, definitely. Jane, soon, I hope you saw the pictures that I was showing, that I was sharing. If you can, let me know if you saw these. Truly special, these different dishes that I was showing. I wish I had a picture of my wife's lasagna to show you because it is out of this world. Amazing. Okay, no more food. We have 9 minutes left, guys, and it's time to end this version, this edition of Englishing with Jings, our 7th edition, where we're supposed to be talking about parents and grandparents, and we did for the most part. But the last 30 minutes or so, we've basically been talking about food. And this is perfect because it's almost lunchtime here in Serbia. It's 11:25 a.m. right now. So, yeah, This has been an amazing show, guys. I've had a lot of fun. So, King Chung Sek, I like to ride bicycles, run, play badminton, barbecue, and drive around SUVs. Oh my God, that's one thing that I miss here in Europe. I don't have a car. Okay. When I was young, just like you, I've had, let me think here, 1, 2, 3. I've had 3 SUVs in my lifetime. My first was a Chevy Blazer, a 1989 Chevy Blazer with big, huge tires and an 8-inch lift kit. So it was really high off the ground. And we used to like to take our vehicles out to the country and climb the hills. Oh my God, that was fun, man. My second SUV was a GMC Jimmy. I think that was a 1995. And right before I moved here, we had a 2006 Hyundai Santa Fe GXL, the luxury model. I missed that thing so much. It had all leather seats, heated mirror, a moonroof, sunroof, whatever you want to call it, and a really nice stereo. Oh, and I had a Pontiac Vibe, a 2009 Pontiac Vibe. I had to sell these vehicles before I moved here to Serbia. So no vehicles, but that's okay, because here in Europe, you really don't need to drive so much. Everything's close. You can ride your bike or you can walk, and this keeps me healthy. See, us Americans are lazy. We like to just drive everywhere because everything's so far apart in the United States. You need to have a vehicle, an automobile. But here in Serbia and Europe in general, not so much. And I've definitely been walking a lot since I moved here. Well, before the coronavirus started. Not so much walking in the last 3 months, unfortunately. But okay. I also like to ride bicycles, which my bicycles are back in the United States. So we don't have bikes here yet either. We will though. Run? Oh God, no, I don't run, man. I walk. Badminton, I used to love to play badminton in high school in our physical education class. That was good fun, man. And you know, as I said, barbecue. I'm known as a grill master back in the United States. In the summertime, spring, summer, and fall, 80% of our meals come from the grill. So I'm very proud of my efforts on the grill. Once again, no more food. Oh, I'm going to pig out when this show's over. I'm going to eat a lot. Definitely. I still have moussaka from last night in the fridge, and it's even better the second day, I have to tell you. As you saw that picture, there's still half a pan left, so I can't wait for that. All right, 5 minutes, people. We're streaming live, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. 7th edition, Englishing with Jings. And also, just so everybody knows, a quick reminder, we offer English classes. Sign up now. We'll leave the links on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Our teachers are excellent. We have lots of experience helping people learn English through conversation. We help with grammar. We help with vocabulary, pronunciation, sentence structure. We are the experts. I've been an ESL teacher for nearly a year now, and I've dealt with over 760 students. So, and I might have the least experience of our teachers. Yeah, we're good. Come give it a shot. The boss can set you up right now with classes that we offer on Saturday and Sunday, and we might start expanding to weekdays as well. So please don't hesitate. If you want to improve your English, leave it to the experts at Jing's Learning Center. Learning English is such a necessity these days, whether it be for traveling abroad, for your career, or just learning a new language. English is essential these days. Essential. That's the word back in the United States. Essential. I'm almost tired of hearing that word. Are you essential? Only the essential people can continue working. Goodness gracious. Oh, King Chuck's. Okay, King Chunk Sec, you have a Land Rover. I'm jealous, man. Land Rovers are beautiful. Okay. My 89 Blazer was really good at climbing the hills where I live, but that Land Rover, that thing will go through anything. Land Rovers are built like tanks, man. You're lucky. Aha, okay. So I see you're from Hong Kong. Okay, so the Land Rover in Hong Kong. Interesting. But hold on, is the Land Rover, does it consume a lot of gasoline? I know all of my SUVs were not so efficient when it comes to gasoline, so I can imagine that Land Rover would consume a lot of gas. Yeah? No? I'm curious. My Santa Fe, and I have to use the standard system, my Santa Fe, I think it only had 20 miles per gallon, which isn't terrible, but it's not good. This was the family vehicle. My Pontiac Vibe, 35 miles per gallon. Very efficient. Wow, okay, so I already have subject matter for some future shows. Automobiles, food. I would like to share some more of our food from the United States with you guys. And I'd like to learn more about different Asian cuisines. Like we have Chinese restaurants in the United States, and I love Chinese food. But I know that it's American Chinese food. The real thing from China has to be amazing. And I know from experience with my students, every province in China has their own specialty food. And I want to try every one of them, man. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. These restaurants are Chinese people preparing the food. So it has a Chinese flair. But I think they prepare this for the Americans. It's different. So eventually I'll take my family to Asia and we will try real authentic Asian cuisine. I really want to try real Chinese food. I really want to try Korean barbecue. I've had it in America and it was good. And there's all kinds of different fish recipes dishes that I would like to try in Japan. So one day, I'm going to make that happen. My family travels, and we have not been to Asia yet. That's coming soon, people. Obviously not right now with the pandemic, but soon, maybe next year. We'll see. People, it's 11:30. We have to end the show. This was amazing. I want to thank our guests today for the wonderful questions. I hope that I kept you entertained for the last 2 hours. And once again, thank you so much for Englishing with Jings. We have another show next Sunday. Let's see some participation. And listen, people, enjoy the rest of the day. And it's been my honor. Bye for now.